Welcome to episode 3 of Generation Zero of the McFluff story. In the last episode, Gertie brought 6 new cats home from the cat shelter because she loves cats and she's collecting them. So we're going to meet them in this episode. First one is Socks. Socks is non-destructive, playful and clueless. The days to aging up aren't necessarily correct. Anyway, this is Wanda McFluff. He's genius, adventurous and friendly. He got his name because he used to wander off as a kitten. And this one is Cheeky McFluff, genius, adventurous and friendly. At least we've got a few little females now. Princess McFluff. Princess is hunter, proud and independent. Fluff McFluff. Fluff is non-destructive, neat and friendly. And this one's Choco McFluff. Choco's genius, hunter and friendly. And Choco's going to have quite an adventure shortly. Choco's adventure will be in episode 4. Here we see Gertie. Now she is level 10 in inventing, but she's not done any inventing yet in this game. And the first thing she ever makes is a miner. And then she makes a harvester. I'm not too interested in the harvester, but I think we'll take her mining in this game so she can go and do some digging. As you can see, I've added the basement. I've only used the money that she had, but I didn't record a video showing you how I did that. I might show you in one of the other basements later on if you're interested. I just used the basement tool. I've put a few items in the basement until she ran out of money. So she's got a cabinet to store her insects. Yes, and I put some bedrooms down there, some extra bedrooms, because we're expecting guests to arrive any day now, perhaps in episode 5 or 6. So we can put her butterflies away in the insect case. And here the cat's... Oh, she's on fire. That happens a lot in the inventing table, so that's why we've got an all-in-one bathroom right next to her. So she can extinguish herself and put herself out. Listen to it sizzle. Maybe she should leave the inventing alone for a little while. She's got a little bluebird in her inventory, and I've decided to put it in a cage. So I've added a cage. It's sort of a greyish-blue cage to go with the bluebird. And now Gertie's going to put the bird in the cage, and I'll be interested to see what the cats do with the bird. So there's Gertie with the bird on her shoulder. We're going to give the bird a name as well, and since it's a bluebird, I thought I might call it Bluey. Original. And here those cats meowing in the background. So now we'll get Gertie to play with the bird as well after she gives it something to eat. She's quite happy with her nice new house, and now her bird's got a nice new house too. So that's the bird named. Now she's got the bird in the cage. We'll see her interact with it a bit. It's not quite totally a bluebird, is it? But it's called a bluebird, apparently. Looks like the cats are ignoring the bird altogether. They're watching the butterflies. And for some reason, Gertie's barking at it like it was a dog. That's an interaction I haven't seen before. And I suppose those who usually have birds in cages see it often. I don't normally keep the birds in a cage, I normally sell them. She can have a chat with this person. She needs to get to know people. She's telling them about the time she caught fire at the inventing bench, maybe. So off she goes. I'm not sure what Gertie's got in mind, but the cats are completely ignoring the bird and playing with the butterflies instead. Some of the cats are outside practicing their hunting. I have decided that Gertie is going to go and try out her miner, and she's also going to go and pick up some suns from the stone's throw greenhouse because she needs money, and those suns are worth 100 simoleons each if she sells them in time. The longer she keeps them in her inventory, the less they're worth, until eventually they just disappear and they're worth nothing at all. Shadow coming down the steps. I think that's Tabitha with the hunting skill that she's learning above her head. So Gertie's gone inside and she's practicing her magic, but she won't stay there for long. I'll send her up the top of the hill here so we can have a nice view of Hidden Springs, and we get to see this. It's really just a decor building. You can't do anything with it. It's just there to look pretty in the world. She likes playing with magic, so she might as well do it for a bit longer before she heads off towards the greenhouse where she can go and pick up some suns. That's just a quick look around town. I like to view the scenery. These worlds are so pretty. It'll look completely different later on when it's snowing. I've got the season set to 14 days for this game, I think. So it'll give us a fairly rapid rotation of seasons, but not dramatically so. I usually have them set to 28 days, but winter gets a bit long. And for another game, I had them on 7 days. But I think 14 might be a good way to go. It's just an experiment. We'll see how it works. You can see some of the venues, the Showtime venues that the game placed automatically. Then I've placed additional venues, some that I've built myself and some that came from the store. And right now I've just sent her off to the greenhouse, Stone's Throw greenhouse from the store. But I've added things to it, particularly the Humble Harvest stands, which came from the alfresco market set or venue. I don't have that venue in the world. I ran out of lots. But I've added a few of my own, and I'll show them to you as we need to see them. So here she is on her broomstick because she's a witch, which we already know. And there's the hospital down there. You can watch her travel towards, through the taxis. It's nice to know that the broom goes faster than a taxi. See, that's one of the lots I've added, the one with the arboretum in it. It's got the gypsy wagon and the arboretum and the vault of antiquity, as well as an ablutions block and a few other things, such as the Fountain of Youth. But here she is at the greenhouse, and she's going to start collecting those suns that you can see lying around. That will take her a few minutes to do that. As you can see in the front there's the Humble Harvest stand. It comes with 4 different designs on it, so I've put it in there 4 times, each with a different image. There's another one, and the behind is the lemonade stand that the children can man. That's the other 2 Humble Harvest stands. And as you might have seen back a bit near the centre of the front, there were 2 spring riders that I placed, just in case somebody brings some toddlers or children to the venue. There's the bumblebee that came with seasons, and the other one is the black witching cat that you can only get in a compilation these days. It used to come with one of the free holiday packs, but now you've got to look through the compilations, and you can see the one that it is because it's got a picture of the actual cat spring rider on the front of it, the bottom right of the screen, for the picture for the compilation that it's in. There's not many seeds that have spawned, but then it's early in the game. And I didn't rotate it this time, it just went on this lot, and it didn't need to be rotated, so it hasn't duplicated the spawners. And I haven't deleted the spawners either. It's just that nothing's spawning at the moment. It's a couple of seeds, but not many. Those suns, they come from the sunflowers, those dancing sunflowers. So there's a townie who's autonomously gone to man the humble harvest stand. There's also a bar in there and toilets, as well as this is a good place to send your Sims if you want them to harvest, but you don't want them to grow food at home. They can come here and harvest whenever they like. There's lots of different types of harvestables planted on this lot, and you could always edit it to plant more if you want to, or you go shopping at the humble harvest stands and see what other Sims have placed for sale. I like to sell my produce at those humble harvest stands because you get a lot of extra simoleons for them. And when you buy from those humble harvest stands, you usually get the ripped off moodlet, which is a negative moodlet that lasts for a while. But sometimes I do buy from there because I want specific ingredients for elixirs, and they're not showing up, they're not spawning anywhere in the world because they're very difficult to get, and you will sometimes find them in the humble harvest stands. Just had a quick little wander around the adjoining lots. This is not very far from the festival lot as well, so we'll be sending her to the festival lot in another episode. But in this episode we'll just stick around the greenhouse, and there she is dancing to the sun, or the sunflower. The sunflowers are where she gets the suns from. Every so often they spit out suns. So if you see her money supply suddenly increasing by a couple of thousand simoleons, that's where the money came from. Okay, she's got a digger that she made earlier, and she's now digging here at the greenhouse. And if she digs the right sort of hole, she'll be able to go for an adventure in it. But sometimes she digs for a really long time. This is also a good way to find pink diamonds, but again, you have to take Sim weeks sometimes to find a pink diamond this way. Just depends on luck. One thing I've often wanted, so I've seen people posting pictures. Oh, she's got a hole, look at that. Now she needs to put the digger back into her inventory and jump in that hole, because it's got gold floating up from it. Yeah, there's a outfit that you can get if you get on the right adventure in one of these holes, and I've never had it in my games, and I really want it. So I'm going to keep her jumping in holes until she gets it. It's like a caveman outfit. Short skirt, she's got a knife strapped to the leg. It's really interesting. So she's investigating what's down in that hole. We won't actually sit through the entire time she's down there. We'd be here for hours, because sometimes these little side adventures take a long time, and all you get are pictures, not pictures, you get notifications in the top right of the screen of things she's seen and done down there. So she's still down that hole. Someone's coming. I bet that's a paparazzi, because I don't recognise him, but he's got an interesting hat on. He's just going to stand there and hide behind the tree. I guess he's wondering what that glowing gold hole's all about. It's Gertie. She's down there with her digger. It's in her inventory now, and I'm hoping she comes up with something interesting. So is he going? No, he's coming back again. Camera's out. He's definitely a paparazzi. Fancy wanting to take photos of a glowing gold hole. I guess he's got to get a good shot. Can take a lot of rolls of film to get a good shot sometimes. The reason I think he's using a film camera rather than a digital camera is he's not checking to see if he got a good picture or not. He's just shooting endless photos, because with the film you had to keep taking more photos because you didn't know if you got a good shot until you got the film developed. And sometimes you'd get your film developed and it'd be completely blank because it hadn't gone through the camera. At least with your digital, you can see immediately if you've got a photo or not. And he's not checking. He's just flashing his camera. So that's why I think he must have a film camera. So Hidden Springs is obviously not caught up with the digital age yet, or at least that particular paparazzi hasn't. Hello, what's Gertie done? She's climbing out of the hole. Gertie has encountered a very dark cavern. Good thing she brought a flashlight. Hopefully the battery won't run out. Hopefully Gertie won't run off. That hole is still glowing. Come back. She's going to go to the Humble Harvest stand. Not what I had in mind. According to that message, Gertie had a few close calls, but managed to escape mostly unscathed. During the adventure, Gertie found a tomato seed. Well, we need to find more than that, because she has a house to furnish and basements to build. So down she goes again. While that hole continues to glow, she can continue to have more underground adventures. And she got singed. So now she's got to go and find a shower somewhere to get unsinged. I don't think that there are any showers at the greenhouse, but we'll go check. I think it's only toilets. I wouldn't dare send her back down that hole again while she's still singed, but she's going to go back down that hole again because I need simoleons. Let's have a look and see if there is a shower at the greenhouse. Pretty sure there's not. No, that's just a toilet. See, there's the bar, and it's a toilet and a wash basin. That's all she's got there. Not good enough. She might have to go home. Or she could stop off as she goes through. There's a park, supernatural park that I built, and it's in my studio on the Exchange. And it has an ablutions block in it, and I'm sure she can get into it and have a shower. Actually, I just put a shower in it. The one that's on the Exchange doesn't have a shower. It just has toilets, but I did just add a shower for her. So there it is. It's got the arboretum. That's the ablutions block that I built. It's got a roof. I just haven't gone up high enough to a high enough level. And there she is. She's getting in there to have her shower. Townies often gather at this particular park. I put it in a lot of worlds. It's got the Vault of Antiquity and the Gypsy Caravan, as well as the Fountain of Youth in it, and some fairy houses. So now she's had a shower, she can come back and jump in that hole again. She doesn't want to get in by the look of it, but she's going in. She has half a chance of getting some good treasure if she jumps in that hole. And she's going to continue jumping in it until it stops glowing. And then she'll fill it in and we'll dig another hole somewhere else. And if she finds any more glowing holes, she's going to be jumping in them too. Because Gertie needs simoleons. Any way she can get them. She's got no room for a proper garden without ruining her lot. I don't want to destroy the way that the lot's been landscaped. And she can't afford to build a basement for her basement garden. There's another paparazzi turned up. Apparently, Gertie was exploring a curious maze-like cave network when she suddenly realised it was built by giant ants. Luckily, the insects weren't very interested in Gertie and gently nudged her out of the way. That paparazzi's taking lots of photos too, and it looks like she's also got a film camera. Maybe the paparazzi all have only film in this world at this time. Actually, film is really good because it doesn't get pixelated. You can just keep blowing it up and blowing it up, provided that you getting bigger and bigger pictures, provided you've got it in focus, of course. If it's not in focus, you can't make very big pictures of it. That's why you need a tripod, so the camera is held perfectly still. Has somebody else come in to do some gardening or picking up some suns? Yeah, that's a townie simmet who don't know who it is, but she's going to gather some suns. Gertie's still down that hole with the giant ants, and she's dressed. Look, she's got that outfit. She's wearing the outfit I haven't seen before. I wanted it. Now I've got it. That's her new everyday outfit. Yippee! I'm very happy about that. Wonder what else she got. It says, Gertie returned to the surface loaded with both gifts from underground settlements and great memories. During the adventure, Gertie found a moonstone. Now that's more like it. And she's gone back down the hole because it is still glowing and she needs more stuff. This moonstone might be quite valuable, but it won't buy much furniture or build much basement space under her house. And we need to go down 4 levels of basement because she's at level 10 in the science career and she's got the group science project in her household inventory and we need to place it in the basement. So she must have been a bit hungry, but she's eaten one of those apples that she conjured. And here she is, she's come back again. She's got to get back into that hole. Doesn't matter what's down there, she needs to go looking. Oh, she fell in. She's in. Bye, Gertie. Gertie has entered the tunnel with a mixture of nervousness and excitement. Who knows what underground adventures await? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. It's not very exciting waiting for her to come out of that tunnel, and she's down there for such a long time. And she's keeping the paparazzi occupied, though, I suppose. It's a bit scary. I hope she comes out in one piece. I'd hate to see her get singed again. It must be nearly time for us to go home. It's getting late. Here she is. Oh, she's been singed. And what she found this time. If only Gertie had been thin enough to get through that tight spot, she may have found an ancient lost city. She will just have to be happy with whatever that trinket she picked up along the way. During her adventure, Gertie found jade and an ochre seed. So she can go home now. I've had enough, but that hole is still glowing. We'll come back tomorrow and see if it's still there. It's entirely possible that it will have been invaded by townies and be all used up, and they'll probably get all the treasure that she didn't find yet. But we'll send her all the way home on her broom. That paparazzi's just taking photos. I think it's taking photos of that sim manning the produce stand. So there goes Gertie. She's headed off home. We might follow along for a while and have a peek at Hidden Springs at night. So that's going past that little park where she had a shower. That's the park that I've got in my exchange, my studio. It's called Supernatural Park in my studio. Slightly different view of town when it's night time. It's dark and it's lit up. All the buildings have their lights on. There's plenty of taxis out. Again, the broom's faster than the taxi, so she just goes straight through them. They must be made out of dark matter or something. That is my build as well. We just went past it very quickly. But that is something else that's in my studio. It's my indoor-outdoor wedding centre. I thought I'd place it in the world. I'm setting up the Hidden Springs world for her, for Gertie's game, and also for Oscar and Louise. So you might even catch a sight of Oscar occasionally as a townie in this save, or in this story. Oh look, she's got a unicorn visiting her at home. The black unicorn though. Very hard to see a black unicorn in the dark. She's going to see it. She was supposed to just go and have a shower, but I think she might be going to interact with the unicorn instead. Because that was quite a surprise to find the unicorn waiting for her. Maybe she can befriend it. I've never had a sim befriend a unicorn yet. I've got a few of them that have a lifetime wish to adopt a unicorn, and of course that's a lifetime wish I've never yet achieved. Wonder what the unicorn thinks of her singed self. Maybe she's going to go to sleep, she's tired. So we'll just watch the unicorn for a little while, and then that'll be the end of the episode. Also what I've done, and I haven't recorded it, and you will see it not probably in the next episode, but when I record some more, is I have fixed up this back area, and I've given them a bigger landing. Oh, she's back. She's going to feed the unicorn. No, she's going to pat it or something. Yeah, where those steps are, I think that might cause some roadblocks or bottlenecks with all the cats trying to get in and out. So I've changed it, and I've made a bigger landing and 2 sets of steps, one up each side of it. And to be able to do that, I've had to move that cat castle to a slightly different location. It's still there, but it's just turned around. I like watching the unicorn for a little bit. But this is all there is to it. Just the unicorn. It will vanish. I'll keep with it until it just vanishes, which will be any second now. And also what I've done is where the unicorn's walking at the moment, I've added 2 more of those cat washing or pet washing things, you know, those machines they get into and bath themselves. They're in Bug. So you'll see it slightly different out the back. Gertie had enough funds to be able to buy that and to do that little change. Probably I used the funds that she just got from those sons. I've also decorated inside where the cats are a little bit more as well in that top level basement. Because what I want it to be is to look like it's a bit run down, and I found some wall art that looks like that the walls are wrecked and that the plaster's coming off the walls. And some other wall art that's a bit like graffiti that's just been drawn on the walls, but it's not graffiti. Oh, it is graffiti, I suppose. It's just drawings that are done directly onto the walls. They're not drawings on paper or something like that. You'll see them all in this episode, but not the next one, because the next episode is going to be Choco. Here goes the unicorn. It's gone. So that's the end of the episode. Yeah, Choco's going to go off on her own adventure in the next episode. That's one of the cats. So thank you for watching. Bye bye for now, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.